All right, on to our next tip. So when you guys are running different simulations, ones that require a cache, which as we talked about, quick refresher, is basically the memory within Blender, you'll notice over here in our physics properties, either in the rigid body world or within your fluid domain properties, we have this cache section. Now, the super important thing to remember about a cache is that we're storing actual information about our physics simulation. So everything's going to be stored within a folder. I like to think of it as an actual physical thing that's being stored. If you override that with other data, it's going to lose your simulation, right? It's going to be gone. So in other words, I'm going to go ahead and press pause here. Over here, we have a folder. If you go ahead and select that, you'll notice that there's all these random things in here. If you create your own custom folder for a project that you're working on for a client or for yourself, you're going to want to name that in some way or another so that you don't accidentally select the same folder for another simulation. And remember, it can be overridden. So if you accidentally use the same cache folder, you can easily lose all your valuable data. And sometimes you'll be baking these things out at a very high resolution. So if you lose that valuable data, I promise you it's going to upset you because you had to be so patient to wait for your result. And then you just completely lose that data because you weren't careful enough with your folder structure. So just make sure, and if you're ever not sure, just click on this folder, go up in the hierarchy, create a new folder, call it My New Cache or whatever you want to. Click into that, click accept, and now anything you bake will go into that folder. So just make sure you do that before you bake, just so you know you have a fresh folder to work out of and it's completely specific to this project. And I just wanted to tell you guys that because it's going to save you a lot of headaches in the future. When you go to bake out these simulations, you're going to want to make sure you have a specific folder for your specific project. You'll thank me later.